My name is Monica Arce. I never really introduced myself like that, but I figure, what the heck? um, if you don't know by now, I'm Monica. You are in my LuLaRoe Facebook group. If you didn't know that, now you do. But just in case you're just like scrolling through your newsfeed and you're like, who the heck is this girl? I'm Monica. All right, guys. So tonight I'm going to be doing my first ever consultant Q&A chat. Um, and I will tell you right now, I am super, super nervous. This is like a whole different ballpark from doing a live sale. And I was just kind of thinking about it on Periscope right before I hopped on here. And I kind of had this mini epiphany about why I'm feeling so nervous tonight. And it's because I'm not just selling clothes tonight, y'all. Tonight is my opportunity to be able to respond to all of you who have been, I can't even tell you how great of a support system y'all have been, and respond to the messages that I've been receiving from you. And it really, really, as someone who wants to be able to do it all, it really hurts to not be able to take the same sort of thought and the time that the messages that I receive. I cannot believe that the types of kind words that I'm getting, and I can tell that your messages are well thought out and that you've put time and effort into writing them, and it really gets to me, and it's upsetting to not have the sort of time to be able to return that sort of sincerity and kindness. So that's why tonight is so very important to me. It's my opportunity to kind of get to respond to all of you at once. It may not be, an individual message like I would like, but I'm going to talk a little bit about this in more detail, but it's all about finding balance, y'all. And all right. So now that more of y'all are tuned in, thank you so much for joining me, and I apologize if I missed your comments on this one. I do kind of have a template, a guideline, and some questions written out, and to prevent this from going on and on and on and on and on, I'm going to try to kind of keep the topics going. And if you have some follow-up questions on the topic that we're discussing, feel free to chime in. But if I skip over your comment, I apologize in advance, and what I can do is kind of read through them on the replay and type it out if I miss it live. So all right, so if you guys don't know, which I'm sure many of you do, but if you are someone who is a customer of mine in my group watching this live or on the replay, and you're like, what the heck is this, LuLaRoe business all about? And you're wanting to find more information, of course, feel free to watch this video. But you can also find me on YouTube. If you go to YouTube and search LuLaRoe Monica Arce, or just my name, I should pop up. And I go into a lot more detail about my business, the LuLaRoe business, what I consider to be the pros and cons of selling LuLaRoe, the startup costs involved with being a consultant, all the supplies that you need, what you get as far as inventory, like everything that I ordered. So I go over that in a lot of detail. I may touch on some of that tonight, but just in, the effort of, what's the phrase? To save time, I'm not going to go ahead and repeat the stuff that's already up on YouTube. Also, if you're interested in becoming a consultant, you can feel free to reach out to me at LuLaRoeMonicaArce@gmail.com. That's my email. I swear I'm going to hop into the Q&A, but if you just want to jot that down, I have a team. My team name is Team Give, and it stands for Grace, Initiative, Value, and Empowerment. I'll get into a little bit more about that at the end of this video, but if you are looking to join LuLaRoe, it is an awesome, awesome opportunity, and I'd love to have you on our team. So yeah, I'll get into that more later though. Oh my gosh, I'm missing so much of your comments. All right, so you're so used to my mom bun life. That's funny. Yeah, I let the mom bun down. And lip sense plug, it's sheer berry, y'all, with what gloss? It's Bougainvillea gloss. Love it. The interest of Lee, what would I do without you, girl? Oh my gosh, Lee is on like all of my broadcasts, saving me from myself, and always finishing my sentences for me. So thanks, guys. Wow. Okay, where do we start? Let's start with, okay, have notes, y'all. The first thing, okay, how about a little background? So, I have been a LuLaRoe consultant for a little over 2.5 months now. Before LuLaRoe, I started off in banking. That was my first real, I had 16-year-old jobs, but that was my first real career kind of job. I was a banker, and I left that in 2000, I don't know. I left that to pursue an Etsy business. I knit, that's my hobby, and I started off selling my knit things on Etsy, and then I actually transitioned into doing more graphic design type stuff for weddings, and yeah. So that's what I did prior to LuLaRoe, and I did that full time. So my background, you started saying, y'all. That's funny. You're in banking right now too? Yes, it's great. Banking taught me a lot. So my background, as far as the kind of work experience I had prior to LuLaRoe, customer service, excuse me. I had a little bit of info about the business finance aspect of running a business, and then also with my Etsy business, I had some familiarity, oh gosh, that's a hard word to say, with, just kind of filing, small business taxes, staying somewhat organized, having a profit and loss statement, marketing online. So if you guys are joining LuLaRoe and you're like, oh my gosh, if you have no business experience, especially with running an online-based business, do not beat yourself up about, not knowing it all in the beginning, y'all. I'll tell you right now. Well, yes, and I met my best friend, Michelle, one of my bridesmaids from Wells Fargo, so, it can be so overwhelming in the beginning. If you're in the queue, if you're a consultant, you'll know. My biggest piece of advice for getting through that is to make a list. Write it down. If you're lying in bed staring at the ceiling and you're half asleep and you're like, oh my God, I need to figure out my business cards, grab your notebook next to your bed and write it down. Do not feel like you have to figure it all out as each thought comes into your brain, because you will cry a lot. You are only human, and just start checking things off that list, guys. It'll feel so much better. Just go down, your list will become shorter and shorter. Choose to research just one thing a day. Okay, today I'm going to research racks. What kind of racks do I need? The industrial grade kind? Just focus on that one thing. Everything else, that can wait. No emotional meltdowns needed. Yeah, you're allowed to have one or two. Oh, okay. Side note about the mustard, Nicole. Actually, I tried it on and it was a little too small, so thankfully, another amazing woman got to snatch it up, and it has a happy home. So, all right. So if you guys are struggling, if you're already a QB, I titled this QB and Consultant Chat. If you're already in the queue and you're finding yourself overwhelmed and not really knowing, if you're finding your second guessing your decision, you signed on and you submitted your paperwork because you believed in LuLaRoe. You took initiative. You believed that you could do it. You believed in the business strategy. Guys, the business, you don't have to worry about whether or not LuLaRoe is you can make LuLaRoe work. So your biggest enemy with being in the queue and having that amount of time, which is about 6 to 8 weeks is the wait time. Once you submit and decide to be a consultant, you have to wait 8 weeks, which is kind of cruel. But the benefit and the flip side, I view it as a positive, because you get time to prepare and really feel confident in your decision, and it also weeds out the people who are wanting to impulsively get into the business. So it's an amazing sisterhood. It's an amazing thing to be a part of. So, all right, I have a feeling this is going to go on and on and on, even if I'm trying not to. So that's my background as far as what I did before LuLaRoe. I'm currently selling LuLaRoe full time. I was at first in one of my first YouTube videos. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna balance both. Ha 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 ha. So I'm sorry if you guys have been contacting me about, oh my gosh, when is your Etsy shop reopening? I don't have an answer for you. I think it's still on maternity leave, so I apologize. There is just this has kind of consumed my life in a good way. I just had my son Jasper 2 months ago. So I am just immersed in the new business, new mommy phase, new team person. That's what's going on. So, all right. I'm going to start off the first topic with one of the questions I received, which was, how do I find balance? And that's a great question. And if you don't relate to me because you don't have kids, or you're not even a consultant, you're just watching this as a customer, but you just need, like, you may be struggling with balancing, juggling a lot. I have got a lot going on. To repeat myself, I'm a new mom. That's crazy. I did not have the intention of team building when I got into this business. That kind of naturally happens. I have a team now of over 20 women, and I'm a wife, and I'm trying to cruise qualify. I'm trying to hustle my own business. That is all the stuff that I'm balancing on top of trying to be human. I am not Superwoman. So how do I balance it? I even have props for this to answer this question, guys, okay? I'm going to let this speak for itself. And I hope you guys can read that. I hope the glare isn't too crazy. It says, you can do anything, but not everything. Okay? This is hanging in my office, and it is so, so true. You can do anything, but not everything. So, what does that mean as far as how it translates and affects your business? In the beginning, when I was first starting out, I was probably, if you messaged me when I was in the queue, I was probably answering all of your messages. But I got to the point where I was staying up till 2 in the morning. Well, I was getting up anyway, right, because I have a newborn. But I was pumping or feeding him and with a phone in my hand trying to message. And I got to the point where I realized I was a hot mess. I hadn't done anything for myself in, a long time. I was super, super proud of my business and hustling it, but I was not happy with just how exhausted I was. So I had to make a commitment to myself to create boundaries. And I even said in my YouTube video, pros and cons of selling LuLaRoe. Con number 1, or con number whatever it was, is the social media and the amount of time that you have to spend. You have to create boundaries. There's just no way, if you're sitting at dinner, put the phone down, leave the phone in the other room, be present. And that is, as someone who I even realized that was going to be a struggle, I still struggled with it, and I'm still struggling with it. So give yourself, set business hours. Exactly. And that is one of the reasons why, if you've messaged me and you're like, gosh, I really, wish that Monica would respond, just know that you're heard. Please, I may not be able to respond to the messages, but I read them all. And I promise you, it does, I have an inner conflict with not being able to return the same kindness and the amount of time that I know you're spending writing those sweet messages. I wish that I could return the time, but just remember your priorities, okay? Your family, your relationships, your business, and if you have a team, your team always comes first. But in your customers, of course. I allow consultants and QBs in my group. Some people don't, but I'll tell you why I do. I may not have the highest numbers in my group, right? There's LuLaRoe groups that have 35,000 people. Sure, I know compared to some people, you may be like, oh, Monica, I wish I could have 4,000, but I don't have the highest quantity following. Do I wish? Am I happy with the number of people in my group? Absolutely, and I'll tell you why. My goal is not to have the most amount of members. I honestly right now don't want to grow my group more than organically, because I don't want to turn into your LuLaRoe hustle dealer where you're having to fight out people who are interested in unicorn hunting, and then the negative, I'm sure y'all know what I'm talking about. My goal as a LuLaRoe consultant and the type of environment that I'm trying to create in my group is a place where I can serve you. And that's my community, the people, so that you being my LuLaRoe shoppers, whether you just want the leggings, you want the clothes, you feel beautiful in the clothes, saying your stories on my giveaway. Oh my gosh, guys, I have teared up so many times reading your comments. And again, I'm not able to respond to them, but oh my gosh, you guys are opening your hearts. And it's just incredible. So my goal is to be able to serve you, my audience, whether you're a customer, a shopper, whether you are a fellow consultant or a QB. But this company is built off of a faith, a family who has faith. I have faith, and it's just that if you are so yeah, this kind of the point that I'm getting at is one of the questions was, how did you grow your following? And I want you to challenge yourself and think about your favorite consultants and why you're in their group and why you like to follow them. Do they, is it the styling? Is it the photos that they post? How does what they post make you feel? And I think I've said this in one of my videos, but people will buy LuLaRoe because people love LuLaRoe. They love the clothes. That's just a given. People love, the clothes, but they buy the clothes because they want to support you and they feel connection to you. So if you're wondering, gosh, how am I going to make this work for me? Or Monica, how did you grow your following? Sure, I did. I've done a couple of loops in the beginning. But apparently, just by putting myself out there and I try to remain transparent, because in today's society, there's a lot of negative, and it's really, really, really important to me to promote positivity and well-being as a woman, or just feeling like you're not alone. Look at this. My nails are crazy right now. So, yeah. So, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that I'm not reading your comments, guys, but I just knew there would be a lot of, it's really hard. If you guys have gone live, you'll know to read and talk at the same time and stay on track. But due to the nature of today's video, I apologize. I'm so sorry. I'm not reading your comments. All right, so I hope that answers the question about following. But as far as practical things, sure, to do, put yourself out there in the form of YouTube. Sure, make YouTube videos. Does it have to be fancy? Absolutely not. I think it's more important to have content and be authentic than it is to have a fancy video. But if you're interested in the editing and how I put text, all I used was iMovie. I have Apple everything, Mac everything. So if you open iMovie, you can add text onto the video. So that's the only thing that I used as far as making my videos. Thanks. All right, so hopefully I'm going to try to go through the questions. On that thread that I posted, I tried to kind of write down everything that's summarized, but I'll do at the very end. If I didn't cover anything, maybe you could post your question at the end. So yeah, YouTube, Periscope is great, and I cannot tell you how many people who have popped on to my Periscope saying, oh my gosh, I love watching you, but I'm so scared to go live. I haven't done it yet. And my biggest piece of advice for that is just do it. Conquer that fear. And if you watch your favorite Periscoper or favorite live person's first broadcast, I think you can even watch mine. Mine is oh my, everyone's is the same, y'all. It's exactly the same. Yours is going to be the same. Everyone's oh my gosh, what am I doing? Oh, how do I turn the camera around? This is so nerve-wracking. I can feel my heart beating out of my chest. So we're all in it together. Everybody has a ground floor. And guys, like I said, the sisterhood and the community of this amazing company, everyone is going to be there to uplift and support you. And if they're not, if they're judging you, which, those aren't the people that you need to be focusing on anyway. Those people don't matter. So, do it in Block Deja. Oh yeah, okay, so important Periscope tips. Turn off your location, please, please, please. There are so many Periscope creepers on Periscope. And how you do that is right before you broadcast, there's a little triangle, and it'll be glowing if you're broadcasting your location. If you click on the triangle so it's not highlighted, it'll say precise sharing location off, or precise location sharing off. And that's what you want. And to block, you just click on their name and hit block. So, aw, thanks, Rachel. So, okay, so that's as far as things you can do to grow your following. Just stay consistent. The more that you're on Periscope and putting yourself out there, the more likely people are to find you, the odds of people finding you. Okay. We talked about quantity versus quality and deepening the relationships that you have with the existing people in your groups. Yes, I am a firm believer of that. So, why do I let consultants in my group? Sure, are there times where you're going to get a bad apple in your group where they're like, you know, multiple people comment sold and other consultants are like, oh, I have that, I'll message you. I hope not. Is there a chance it could happen? Yes. But I feel the positive of sharing the sisterhood and, you know, getting to give back is far greater than the chances of me, you know, having someone that I can easily remove and block should I need to. So, okay. Let's see, on to the next part. All right, cool. I'm so proud of myself. I didn't skip any of my bulletin points so far. All right, so let's get more into the actual how-to of running a business or the behind the scenes. I know a lot of you guys are curious about this. So my first topic is graphics. So how I create my graphics, what you can do to create graphics for Facebook, yada, yada, yada. I use a couple of different tools. The first one is Photoshop. It's not the most user-friendly, but because I have graphic design experience, I'm able to easily use that to create graphics. Now, if you are completely computer illiterate and you're like, I have no idea where to start, go download, write this down if you guys are taking notes, go download Word Swag. It is an app. I think it's on Android and Mac. It is like $3 or something, and it is worth every penny. It is so user-friendly, and you'll be like, oh, that's how all the consultants created their graphics, because we all use the same app. Word Swag is amazing. You do not need Photoshop to be able to create graphics, and I think it is very, very important. Anytime that you post something in your group to have a fun, bright, colorful graphic to catch the eye, rather than just text. If you can do that, just create graphics for everything. Yes. Okay. All right, moving into photos. So talking about album sales and the photographing. So thank you for all the compliments on my photos. I do not do anything too fancy. I think it's very important to have the emphasis and the focus remain on the clothing rather than, you know, your name or having like furniture or cute this or that, like decoration or jewelry. I think I prefer the emphasis to be on the clothing, so I just use a simple white backdrop. I use a very cheap lighting kit. I think I use the Cowboy Studios one available on Amazon, and I photograph opposite a window so that the natural light can come in as well. I happened to have a Canon Rebel camera. I didn't purchase one for this business. It's something that I just already have. You don't necessarily need one, but I prefer, you know, you're going to get better quality photos if you use a camera like that, but I mean, gosh, the iPhones and the phones these days are taking such great photos, it's really not that necessary. That's just what I use. People have been asking. As far as what I use to create the watermark on my image, so I watermark the photos with the size and my name. And the way that I do that is I use a service called watermark.ws. It's a website, and it's a subscription service. I think it's like $6 a month. And what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So it allows me to batch edit all of those photos. So if you are typing in the size on every single photo, go to this website and stop that right now. It'll save you boatloads of time. So if you're like, oh, I don't want to do that because it takes a lot of time, it doesn't. You can upload all of your extra smalls and literally hit with one click of a button, extra small, and it'll tag all of them. So super, super helpful if you're a consultant and want to add that onto your photos. Watermark.ws. Okay, my process for photographing. So I just did this yesterday. My best friend Charlotte came over. Oh my God, I have the best friend ever. She saw my album cover photo that I was having an album sale, and she texted me, do you want me to come over and help you photograph? Oh, amazing. So The process that I use now is different from when I got my initial inventory because you're photographing everything. But what you'll find is once you do sales, you're going to have photos of some items in your inventory that have been in your inventory, so you've already photographed it, and then you also are going to have your new inventory which needs to be photographed, and it gets all mixed in, and it's like, oh my gosh. So what I do, thank you guys, and I appreciate you for answering each other's comments, so that I'm not just like I said, not losing my train of thought, because if you guys have watched me, you know it's very easy for me to do that. Okay, yes, Charlotte is the best. So once, as I was saying, once I have a few sales and all the inventory is mixed in, what I do is I go start on one style. I start with the Irmas, and I have my laptop. So here's my imaginary laptop with the albums. So the way that I organize my photos is by style. So in my iPhoto, or you could have folders like on your computer, but I would have different folders with each style. So I'd have a folder or an album with Irma, Cassie, Classic, etc., etc. So I'd open my album of Irma. I'm just going to go off of that example, and I would have my rack, or I'd have my Irmas and my photos. So I have my laptop and I'm looking through, and I start with the first Irma, the extra small, and I look at my laptop and see if I have a photograph of it. If I do, I leave it on the rack. If I don't have a photo of it, if it needs to be photographed, I'll take that Irma and put it on a separate rack. And I'll do that for all of the extra smalls, Irmas. And then I'll be able to see if I have any photos that I don't have in front of me. So those would be photos of items that sold. So I hope that makes sense. So I delete the photos of items that sold because I verified they're no longer on the rack anymore. I leave the items on the rack that I have photos of, and then I take all of my new items that need to be photographed and I put them on a separate rack. And I do that by style. So I go through all the Irmas and I have all the extra small to 3XL, and they're now on my need to be photographed rack. Then I'll go to the next style. Now, once I've done that and I've gone through all of the items, what I do is I take that rack of all the items that need to be photographed, and I organize it by size, not style. So then what I do is I set up my lighting and, mannequin and backdrop, all that stuff. Oh, gosh, getting tired talking about it again. And I start with the extra smalls. So I'm doing all of the extra small regardless of style. So I take a photo of a Post-it or the tag that says extra small, take a picture, take all the extra small, Carly's, Classics, Irma's, Nicole's, and then once I finish the extra smalls, I take a picture of an extra small tag or a Post-it that says extra small. So what that does is when I upload all the photos, I know which ones where to cut off. Like when I'm uploading to watermark them, I know, okay, here's my extra small photos, and then once they're watermarked, I'm able to look at the image and see, okay, that's an Irma, put that in the Irma folder, or if that's a Nicole, put that in the Nicole folder. So that's my process for photographing inventory for an album sale. Oh my gosh, yes, it is a lot of work, which is why I prefer live sales as a consultant. As a business person, I prefer live sales because it saves me time. I totally understand and empathize, so customers and people who have 5 kids and can't tune in for an hour to watch me make a fool of myself and, say stupid things. And so I do think that while it's good, it's nice to be able to sell and offload your inventory and save so much time doing live sales. It's definitely a good idea to do album sales as well too, so that you're reaching all of your audience, which everyone prefers to shop differently. So that's why I do Facebook Live, Periscope, and albums, because I don't want to disclude or not include someone who prefers Facebook because Periscope doesn't cooperate for them, or I don't have time to shop live sales. So I like to spread it out evenly to give everyone an equal opportunity to shop. So now that I've rambled on and on about that, I'm going to scroll up and see if I missed anything. Any crazy comments? Let's see. You already want to do more live. Yeah, just from listening to that. Oh, Taylor, you're so sweet. No, I hope I don't make you cry. I already got through the emotional part in the beginning of this video. So if you watch the replay, maybe, no. Oh, that's a good question. Alicia says she just asked, do you find it better to do live sales when you get new boxes and then photograph whatever is left for album sales? Totally. Shop the box. Yes, yes, yes. But, okay, there's a but to that, which is if you do that all the time, your album shoppers are going to be mad. Why? Because your live shoppers are getting first dibs at the good stuff, right? If there's a unicorn in there and you're only doing shop the boxes, or you're always doing shop the boxes for every box you get in, then your album customers are not going to have an equal opportunity to score their favorite prints. On that note as well, I don't fulfill in search of requests or people messaging me saying, do you have Constellation this, or can I buy those bear leggings from your unicorn vault because you didn't give them away? No, and the reason why is I like to give everyone a fair opportunity. Just because you message me doesn't mean you get first dibs. Because there's plenty of other people in the group who didn't think of, who also would like the same item. So, and it takes time to fulfill in search of requests. How are you going to keep on track of the 50 people who have messaged you wanting this print in a size extra large? So when you get one, you're like, oh, I think maybe someone wanted this print, but I don't know what size it was. Who was it that messaged me? I mean, it's just, there's no way, right? Remember, you can do anything, but not everything, and that is not a good use of your time when you are running a hectic, crazy business and having a life, and if you're team building, it's just, not a good use of your time. What about if something is damaged, Alicia? You can do a quick QC while you're shipping. There has been only one time so far where someone bought something. I don't know if it was live or in an album sale, and I was folding it up and I noticed a small hole, and I was like, oh crap, because I already sold it to her and she paid. So I just messaged her and I said, I'm so sorry, I found, a defect in your shirt. I'd be more than, is there anything else that you would like to, you obviously have credit with my shop. And she was super understanding. It's because, usually with the defects, they know it's not your fault. You're not opening your bags and intentionally puncturing the clothing. So as long as you are above and beyond with your customer service and be generous. Don't argue with someone over a $35 item. It's not worth it in the grand scheme of things. If someone messages me and they receive something that has a defect and they ask, usually they're so nice. They're like, would you like me to return it to you so you can, I just let them keep it and I send them a replacement or give them credit. And because I don't want them to take extra time out of their way to go to the post office and stand in line for a defect because, that they received. So, okay. So moving on, we covered photos, graphics, sales, and ordering. Okay. So I covered this a lot actually in my YouTube video. If you are curious as far as what I ordered in my initial, in the beginning, go watch my supply, what is it called? Startup, and I don't even know what the name of my own video is called. It's the startup cost video where I talk about the inventory and supplies. That's going to go over it a lot, everything in the beginning. But as far as now that I'm a consultant, and yes, you take photos of the defect and you can submit it and they'll replace them for you. As far as what I do now is I order small orders consistently. So there's been a lot of talk about LuLaRoe with the growing pains they're having right now. They built a new warehouse, a whole brand new warehouse, and they're automating all of the shipments. Before, actual human beings were pulling and making mistakes, and they are now trying to automate everything. So shipping is now taking 2 to 3 weeks, and a lot of people are freaking out. But it shouldn't matter as long as you're consistent. If you're ordering every 3 days, it's not going to matter what the backlog is, if that makes any sense, because you're constantly going to have a consistent influx of packages coming in regardless of how long they're taking. So I try to order the minimum, which is 33 pieces every few days or so, sometimes more or less depending on how much I need to replenish. And I have been constantly growing my inventory. It is to about 1,000 now. So that's my ordering method is going to change now that I'm trying to slow down. I'm not trying to really, really amp it up and grow it as quickly. There's still a couple more styles I want to add on, but for the most part now I'm replenishing, adding on a little, but so I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do now. Oh, yes, yeah. This is from, I think, Charmin Gumption. I don't know if she still sells them. I got it when I was still doing Etsy. But I really like her business. So, yes. Oh, and then to avoid duplicates, someone asked me, you know, why didn't you just do one big order? Why did you do 4 small orders of the minimum? And the reason I did that, if you're a consultant, you probably already know this, but if you were to go on and order everything, so like 5 Cassies, if you're adding on that style or whatever, you're going to receive a lot of duplicates if you're ordering high quantities in each size. So 5 extra small, 5 small, or 10 small, 10 medium. You're going to get 2, 3, 4 of the same print. So in order to increase your odds of getting different prints, because they have a bin with medium Cassies with a lot of the same print. So they're just going to grab 3 of those and put it in your box. So if you're constantly mixing up your orders and doing smaller orders more frequently, you're going to have better chances of a variety. So, do I plan to carry all styles? I don't know, Alicia. It depends on, I'm trying to pull my audience. Right now, as you know or may not know, I'm adding on the Joy and the Sarah, which are great fall styles. After that, I don't know. I think I might ask my group, so you guys, what you want to see next and go from there. How many of each size do I recommend carrying in each style? That's a great question. I was just talking to my team about this, actually. You'll find a lot of topics on this in the consultant groups or the QB groups, and people will say oh, make sure you order 10 and make sure you have 10 in each size and style before you expand, which yes, I agree with growing your inventory deep before wide. What that means is with your package, you get 6 styles or whatever it is now. And you're going to have some styles where you'll have 5 extra small through small, 10 small through medium, and then 5, 2X, and 3X. So what you'd want to do to go expand your inventory deep is make sure that all the sizes are 8 to 10 before you add on 5 more styles and you only have 2 in each size for that style. And the reason why it's not a good idea to do that is very simple. As a shopper, my cat's scratching the couch. No, you're bad, guys. So as a shopper, you want more selection. If you're a 3XL, and I personally carry as many extra small and 3XL as I do small, medium, and large, because if you're a 3XL or extra small, you want just as much a variety as everyone else. So, but you may find with experience and trial and error and you'll find that maybe 3XL Randys aren't moving. You just don't sell a lot of them. So as time goes on, you'll be able to gauge what you sell a lot of. For me, I sell a ton of Irmas. So before I just know that a lot of them will sell. So that's what I constantly keep ordering in anticipation of what I know I will sell. That's really, really important. So if you're having a big album sale and you're not ordering, if you're waiting to collect funds on that, which I know you may have to do in the beginning, wait to get paid to be able to order that. But if you can afford, or if you have a credit card or some sort of, if you have the luxury of being able to use that to purchase in anticipation of what you're going to sell, that's great because you won't have to wait as long to replenish what you sell. I hope that makes sense. That sounded like a whole mouthful, but yes. Oh, absolutely. Let's see. Do I carry Amelia? I sure do, Lee. I sure do. Okay, so then we covered sales and ordering. So, okay, next topic is the Google Doc. Oh man, let me take a water break here. Get your I feel like I got a lot of questions about that. About the invoicing, Audrey, the Google Doc, and all that. So, hold on. Okay. So my little disclaimer, background. I only have experience with using a checkout form, a Google Doc. I have not used Shop the Row or Row With Me or any of those third-party applications, and I haven't because I wanted to do it the old-fashioned way or the traditional way, so that I knew what you have nothing to compare it to otherwise. So, oh, thanks, Javi. I heart you. I'm so glad I got to meet you. Why do some people do a different Google Doc for each sale? Like I do? That is the first thing that I wanted to cover, and it's a great question. Is there a way for customers to not have to fill out a Google Doc every time you have a sale? Yes. As a consultant, is that what you want? Maybe not. So let me explain. As a customer, and if you're watching this as a customer, I'm sorry, but this is a business chat, but we talked about time is money, right? You do not have time to do everything. So if you can find something that's going to save you time, it's going to allow you to better serve your customers and better grow your business, be more available to things that are important. So is there a way? Yes, your customers, some people have their customers fill out the Google Doc one time and so that they have all their information on file. So I put Monica RC and my shipping address and like my email address, and then that consultant would have they have basically a spreadsheet of all of their customers' information. Okay, and then what they would do is every time they have an album sale, for example, let's say I'm shopping an album sale and I've filled out their Google Doc, and this is someone who only does it that one time. They don't make you do it every sale. Let's say I claimed 5 items: a pair of leggings, a small Lindsay, a medium Carly, and then I'm like, cool, I'm done shopping. And I don't fill out a Google Doc. What that consultant's going to have to do is go through their album and be like, oh, Monica bought this, Lee bought that, Alicia bought. So it puts the responsibility on the consultant to make sure they're including everything on that invoice. So you're then having to dig through and do the work versus if you're making your customers, or if you're having them fill it out every sale, then you're getting the responses. Okay, my name is Monica, here's my shipping address, and I claimed the medium Carly, the leggings that looked like this, you know, the small Irma. So it's shifting the responsibility from you to them. I'm invoicing you for everything you claimed that was indicated on the checkout form, and it's great because then you save each sale, each spreadsheet. So when you fill out a checkout form, the responses get populated into a spreadsheet. So what I do is I save all of those responses from each sale and I label it. Okay, this was Facebook, September 22nd, 2016. It was Facebook Live or Shop the Box. And I can save all of those responses in a folder so that I can reference, you know, if someone emails me, oh, do you still, I forgot to pay my invoice, or what did I claim on that one sale? So you're not going to have any sort of record if you're not making them fill out the checkout form each time. So I hope that makes sense for why it's a benefit to do it that way. Okay. Yeah. But yes, it is possible, and if you want that, if that's a priority to you to kind of ease that burden on your customers, then by all means, feel free. You basically would create a spreadsheet that has everyone's name and everyone's email address. So I'd be like, okay, I'm done shopping, and then as a consultant, I'd search, okay, Monica RC, here's her email address, I'm going to invoice her. But you know, if you have a group with 4,000 people, that's 4,000 people's stuff to keep track of. You're going to get duplicate names and yada yada. Okay. Eunice, I just answered that question. I think I spent like 10 minutes explaining it, so I apologize. But if you want to, I'm not going to re-explain it, but this video will be posted to the wall. So if you want to watch it for reference, if that's a question that you want answered, yeah, you'll find the answer. Okay, that's the Google Doc. Okay, so the next thing would be shipping, right? You have your sale, they've filled out the checkout form, you've sent out your invoices, and now it's time to ship. So I use, there's several shipping services that you can use. I am not an advocate, like, I don't think one is better than the other by any means. There's definitely different options that you can choose that will work just fine. I personally use Shipping Easy because they give a slight discount on padded flat rate priority mailing envelopes. So they charge $5.90 as opposed to $6.10 that Stamps.com does, or like if you buy online from the post office. And guys, any online shipping service is going to be cheaper than going to the post office. I don't know if you knew that, but definitely you want to buy your postage instead of waiting in line. Yeah. So I use Shipping Easy also because you can upload as I mentioned, so from the sale, all of the checkout forms are uploaded into a spreadsheet. I can then upload those responses into Shipping Easy to create my shipping labels. That's why you have to fill out your shipping address every time on the checkout form, because it populates your address and then it uploads into Shipping Easy. Mary, I don't know if you're watching, but you asked me how you get a shipping notification or tracking info. That is not from Audrey at all. All of this is outside, external from LuLaRoe's payment processing system. All of the inventory, all of my sales data, that I don't refer to Audrey. Audrey does not have a lot of the tools that you would think it does. So it's really important to find something to use that you feel confident in, or to organize outside of Audrey's data and statistics. So with Shipping Easy, I'm unfamiliar with the other services, so they may offer some sort of similar, they may have a similar way of doing it, but so I mentioned all of the data from your checkout form uploads into Shipping Easy, so your name, address, shipping address, and the description of the items that you bought. So if you've ever shopped with me, you'll notice that whatever you put on your checkout form is the description of the item that you receive in the email of your shipping confirmation. So once I print your label, Shipping Easy automatically emails you your tracking info with the description of the item and the tracking number. So that's why you get it consistently. So, hi Mary. Oh yay. I still love easy peasy spreadsheets for sure, but I'm super I prefer to be over organized than fly. I fly off of the seat of my pants a lot, but deep down I would like to be organized, even though I'm a hot mess and chaos 100% of the time, 99% of the time. But yes, I still love easy peasy spreadsheets. So, okay. I'm going to wait. I know there's a little bit of lag, and see if anyone else has questions on shipping while I drink some water before we move into live sales is our next topic. No problem, girl. What was that? Amy said something. Do you always plan on wrapping your packages cute? Oh, that's a great question. Do you think it's been worth it? Okay. So in the beginning, I bought hot pink tissue paper, and I used baker's twine, and I hand wrote notes, personal thank you notes. Let me tell you something. If anyone knows the value of packaging, my Etsy shop was called The Petite Package, because it started off with like me selling retail stuff to like make packages cute. I'm not kidding. So like baker's twine and like cute stickers, and like, so I love packaging things cute. So I was like, putting the clothes in nice, and then wrapping it in tissue paper, and then like sealing it with twine and stickers. And if you've noticed, it has gone from that to I just now put it in the plastic bag, the Ziploc. I still use the stickers, but instead of doing the tissue, I just put it on a sticker that says "Hello Beautiful" on the Ziploc bag. And I don't have time to handwrite notes. I was doing that, but guys, like I said, you kind of have to give and take and find how you can make the most efficient use of your time. So I don't handwrite thank you notes anymore, just because of the volume. I guess that's a good problem to have. I would if I could. And I could, sure. Could I spend time wrapping it in pink tissue paper and writing thank you notes? Sure. But it's going to take me 2 extra days for you to receive your goods. So as a customer, we all like fast shipping, right? So I feel like that kind of outweighs, that's more important than, anyway, you kind of have to find balance as to what you feel comfortable with as far as all of that. So, yeah, with the whole like thing, people throwing it in the trash, if I know you've shopped with me, I'm starting to recognize your names. I'm not going to put the care card that says how to wash your LuLaRoe. Like if you're a LuLaRoe addict, you should know how to take care of your LuLaRoe. So if I don't recognize the name and I don't know if they've shopped with me, I'll put in the care card, my business card. But if you guys are like repeat shoppers, like Jenny, if you're out there, like, you don't need my business card, girl. You know where to find me. So, yeah.
All right, Taylor Wirtz has a great question. Okay, thanks, Sharon, for. I'm so sorry, guys. I know I'm being really bad about reading all of your comments. Where do I buy those Ziplocs? I do. I do try to reuse them if LuLaRoe ships them, but I bought them on Amazon. Okay, Taylor. Oh gosh. Any tips for dealing with a reluctant spouse? My fiance was onboarded until he heard the initial price. Oh, definitely. Okay. How do you actually wrap your stuff? Okay, just kind of covered that. Okay, let me write down that question if I have my pen because, yeah, and I might be able to answer that right before we move into the next topic, which was live sales. Okay, husband, how to convince. I promise I'll get to that. Okay, that's actually definitely a frequently asked question that I get. How to, was I writing convince hubby? Okay, on the board. Well, the business cards, though, you can give to other people. Yeah, that's true, too. If you have, like, an awesome customer, sure, that give them a few business cards and ask them. It's definitely nothing wrong for asking for business. I do that on the back of my business cards, actually. I think it says, like, I would love for you to share. I'm so thankful. I'd love for you to, share the words with you. It would mean so much if you shared with your friends and family. Okay, getting into live sales. Okay, the first question I have written down was, how do I get the numbers to show up correctly? Apparently that everyone wants to know that. Okay, so on Periscope, the numbers, if you use the coat check tags from Amazon, they're going to show up correctly. If you're looking at the screen, it's going to show up backwards to you, but your viewers will be able to see it facing the correct way. It's just Facebook Live where it flips. It's like the mirror image of the number, which is super annoying. So I just recently got, so I actually, before on Etsy, I worked with a local printing company to get my stuff, my designs printed for my customers. So I actually went through them, and I can't remember who asked the question. Maybe it was Alicia or someone, like the name of the company. I'm in Louisiana. It's a local company. It's not like Got Print or Vistaprint. Their name is Speedway Printing. So if you want to support a small business, you can call Eric at Speedway Printing and be like, hi, I'm a LuLaRoe consultant. Can you make me the same numbers that Monica RC has? And they will make them and ship them to you. But y'all, it's an investment, okay? I paid like $200 and something for a set of 1,000. But he manually made all of them, mirrored image numbers, and they laminated them each individually. I think it's worth it though. So yeah. I put that investment into that. So it was you, Andrea. Okay, yes. Okay. Oh, Lee, that's so sweet. Okay, so that's the numbers thing. How do I make my TV have all the sale info? That was a husband thing. But now I know how to do it. So if you have my cat. PowerPoint or the Apple or Mac version is Keynote is the application. To create a slideshow. You create a slideshow with different slides. So I have 5 slides. I have the item with the price, and then the next one is the shipping info, and then follow me, and then thank you. Those are the 5 slides. And then you just plug in your laptop with an HDMI cable. Don't ask me anything about that. Ask your husbands. Be like, Monica told me that her husband hooked up her laptop PowerPoint thing to the TV doing HDMI, and he'll be like, okay, I can do it for you, hopefully. So yeah, that's how I did it. And then if you want it to face the right way on Facebook, there is a way for you to flip the text so that it's mirrored. So when you look at the TV, it'll be facing the wrong way. So on I have two versions. I have my Periscope one saved, a template, and then I have my Facebook one saved. So I can just type in all of that. I don't have to do it each time, and then I can just replace the text with whatever style I'm selling. And then I have them saved, flipped for Facebook, and then normal for Periscope. Okay. Yeah, Amy, originally I did buy those mirror numbers on Etsy, but I didn't have cardstock, so I figured I wanted to invest to have them laminated so they would last a lot longer, since they get, banged up while they're on the racks and being hung. Okay, I know it's so weird, Alicia. I swear they do it just to drive us crazy. Someone asked, how do you keep engagement in a live sale? That's a great question, though. Okay, so sure, I'm sure you guys have tuned into several live sales where the consultant is just. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna take time to describe. You guys know what a subpar scope, Periscope, or live sale looks like. I don't have to describe it to you. So things that I personally try to do. Don't. I was gonna say play upbeat music, but you don't want to do that on Facebook. Oh my gosh! If you are on Facebook, do not have music playing in the background. One of my girls did a Facebook live sale where she went through her entire inventory, all different broadcasts, and she was going to leave replay shopping off through the weekend, and Facebook took down her videos because they could recognize the song she was playing in the background. It was like copyright infringement, and they removed her videos. So do not have any music, just to be safe. So, no problem, Christine. Okay, so there's that. Okay, how to keep engagement. I think something that's really easy that you can do is use people's names. You know, if someone's shopping with you and you as a customer, if you're spending money to shop with someone, it's great. I mean, everyone likes to feel heard. And if I say a comment, and I'm being such a bad example right now because you guys are asking me questions and I'm like ignoring you kind of, well, to stay on track. But, you know, if someone says something, you could be like, you know, thanks, whoever. Or, so that's like customer service 101 though. With live sales, I know it can be so nerve-wracking and scary and really hard for you to be yourself on camera. So it's really important to practice, you know, get your girlfriends, like force them to download Periscope, or, you know, do a practice live video in a secret group where you can just practice chatting to your best friend. No one better, you know, who else to practice being yourself with other than your friends and family. But try to remain as true to yourself as possible personality-wise. And I say that because don't try to be perfect. No one likes to watch someone who... This is going to sound funny. See? Okay. But I feel like as women, in general, we try so hard to do everything right. We want to do it the right way. We don't want to screw up. But y'all, we're humans. And the people watching you are human too. And they're going to see themselves in you. I think that's why... People have told me anyway, that's why they enjoy watching me. I do not have it together, y'all. I am no one special. I am not perfect. No, ma'am. So yeah, just try to be yourself. If you mess up, laugh. You know, if you have a silly, awkward sense of humor, let it show through. Because then someone else who has the same sense of humor as you is going to appreciate it. And if they don't, so try not to worry about the people who aren't going to connect with you. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I'm way too bubbly for some people. They're like, that girl's annoying. I don't want to, you know. But those aren't going to be my loyal customers anyway. Why try to spend time winning over those people who aren't going to, like, you know, versus, you know, focusing on the people who I do have a chance at connecting with. So yeah. Okay. Let me see here. Now I'm taking the time to reread while I was going on and on. Hi, Wilma. How to avoid Facebook jail with uploading albums. Did I do a video on that yet? I guess I didn't. I need to do a YouTube video on that. Recommend for a launch sale. Grace, that's totally personal preference. I did an album launch, but I've seen people do like a shop the box with just like their duplicates. One of my girls did that, and that was a really great idea. Oh my gosh, Kelly, yes. Okay, I have to click on here. Oh my gosh, she came out naked. That is so funny. Okay, yeah, and if you're worried, like if you have kids, how many of your shoppers are moms at home putting their kids to bed and multitasking and shopping? They're totally going to relate to you if your kid comes in screaming. Like, they're going to totally empathize with you. So, oh, thanks, Alicia. You are so sweet. Oh my gosh, no, not perfect. Does anyone happen to know if you practice live on your page, which is secret, will people see you or just the members? Just the members, Eunice. And then you can also delete it if you're practicing later. You can like go live and watch the replay and then delete it. That's funny, Alicia. Okay, great. So that's live sales. How do I stay organized behind the scenes during a live sale? Great question. Okay, so that's different than an album sale. So, and you may like, if you tuned in with me before during a live sale, all you see is like me and you don't see the floor or the craziness. So, excuse me. Okay, how do I check freebies for tax purposes? Okay, let me write this down real fast. Okay. How do I stay organized for live sales? Okay, so let's say I'm doing a shop the box, because those are the most crazy. If you're doing a style like Irma's, that's going to be a lot more organized because then you have your rack of Irma's next to you. But let's say you're doing a shop the box, which is the most chaotic type of live sale. So you're pulling them out, they're all crazy, disorganized, and then I prefer to assign them a number. There are consultants out there that they'll hold it up without a number and then you just type sold. I prefer to give it a number because it tracks the checkout form to that item. There's something to connect that item, right? So if I'm like, okay, if I type sold on a pair of blue leggings and I fill out my checkout form and I call them green leggings and you're searching everywhere for green leggings, what the heck is this girl talking about? You and I are going to have a different description of the item. But if I say green leggings 206 and I see blue leggings 206, I know, oh, okay, this is hers. Especially if you're not writing down their name. If I have a helper like Josh helping me, we will try to, if we're using the coat check tags, I actually write with a pen on the back of the number, who claimed the item, especially during a legging sale, because there's so many and people can people are sold next. Someone may fill out a checkout form as a backup, like, oh, I was sold next on this pair. But if they don't tell you that they were sold next and you accidentally invoice that person because they filled out the checkout form before the person who actually claimed the item, that can get crazy. So if you have time to write on a Post-it note or on the back of the number, okay, Monica claimed the bicycles, so, put that number and their name aside, so that way it'll just help you a lot to identify and match invoices with the item. Okay. So what was? Okay. So yeah. And if as you're holding up the items out of the box, you're assigning it a number and then putting it basically on the floor, guys, like the space in front of you, or if you have a table next to you or a desk. And you can stack items with the number, but make sure the item stays with that number, however you can handle it. It's crazy, guys. Sometimes, the numbers fall off the stacks. So, it's not perfect by any means, my method. And then if someone says sold on an item, I will actually then take that item and number and put it in a plastic bin from the dollar store. And the sold items always go in a different section of the room than the items that I presented. So then if someone's like, oh, wants to go back and claim it, then I'll continue to move it to the sold side. Okay. All right, so the next category, we talked about live sales. We talked about album sales. Okay, so the next topic I have is more about the business financial goal setting part of, we talked about kind of the logistics and how the behind the scenes, the moving gears. So let's talk a bit about the financial part. So I do, Alicia. Right now I don't. I just have my overhead dining room light or piano room light or whatever. But yes, I typically do have at least one umbrella facing me. You guys will probably see multiple times the colors are not. If you're wearing if you're holding up a dark color, it's really hard to show the accurate coloring. So you kind of have to play around with your lighting a bit before you get perfect lighting. But okay, so someone asked, what number do I shoot for per sale? As far as goals for items sold or a goal, a number goal, not item, dollar sign number goal. And I wrote out a business plan for myself before I onboarded, and it has changed a bit now that I'm in the business and I kind of know what to expect from the sales that I've done. I've kind of gauged it, so it's adjusted a little bit more, but on average, so, and Deanne says herself, typically the average per pop-up is about 25 items, and I say average, like the average for everyone is going to be totally different. So I figured in the beginning when I was writing out my business plan for LuLaRoe is, actually, you know what, before we talk about numbers, I want to first talk about goal setting, and because that's really important. So before you go writing down a number, which is a good thing to do. If you want to make $12,000 per month and cruise qualify, you should write it out. Goal $12,000, cruise qualify. But before you do that, it's really important. And I did a Periscope on this about setting goals. Is first you need to identify what your definition of success looks like, and then because everyone's is going to be different. Right? And then make sure you're setting goals and not expectations. And I had a leader in one of my uplines groups post about this, and it was so amazing and insightful. So you may, and it's so easy to do this as consultants, we're in each other's groups, to watch another consultant's success and say, okay, she's doing this, that's my goal, you know. And it may feel like a goal, but what you're doing is you're setting an expectation for yourself. So if you're watching all these YouTube videos and you're watching all of these other consultants and you're working full time, you have 4 kids, and you see someone who has nothing but free time on their hands with no kids, and you're saying, I want to do what she's doing numbers wise, you're setting an unrealistic expectation for yourself, right? So take a look and say, okay, I may not, I don't have as much time as someone like that. So what's a realistic goal that I can set, an obtainable goal? Because you want to set yourself up to achieve your goals and be able to feel proud and accomplished for the time that you're willing to commit to your business. So there's that. Or you can say, all right, you know what? That person, she did good. But I know that I don't have the time to commit to this business as she does. So you can either look at it like I'm going to adjust my goals, or to be more practical and realistic, or you can say, what am I willing to sacrifice to get myself there? That might be staying up, losing 2 hours of sleep. Are you willing to do that, right? Sacrifice your well-being. Is that something that you're willing to sacrifice in order to do that? So, but you can't expect it if you're not willing to make sacrifices, guys. If you're setting a lofty goal for yourself, don't expect to do it by, continuing to live your lifestyle, which is, watching Dancing with the Stars and drinking wine, and then maybe I'll throw a sail up and not putting a lot of effort. Y'all, I eat, sleep, and breathe LuLaRoe right now. It may look like, I don't know what it looks like to y'all, but I work my off, okay? And yes, I have a new baby. I have a team. It is really, I committed. My goal, I knew I could do it. I knew it would be challenging, but I wanted to cruise qualify. That's my goal. I'm going to be on that cruise ship next year, so guess what? I don't get to watch Dancing with the Stars every Monday night. Or, I don't go out and do things that I used to do before. I don't, I don't have time to do a lot of the things that I did before. But because I knew I was making those sacrifices and I was okay, I came to terms with that being okay. In order for me to get that goal, this is what my life is going to look like. Then it became obtainable, and I wasn't upset by what my life had become. Because if you're starting to realize, if you're starting to look in the mirror and you're not unhappy with, if you're feeling stressed or worried or anxious and you're not happy, then take a look in the mirror and maybe reevaluate what your goals are. Because guys, it's all about balance. What are your priorities? You don't want it to be you know, if you have a family, you know, anyway, so define what your success looks like before setting your goals. I'm really glad that came up, and I hope that didn't go on and on, but no more saying who gets the rose, right? Okay, so now we can talk numbers. Okay, so once you have your number written down, so again, you're going to determine how much time you have and whether that's going to be practical and realistic and all the sacrifices you're going to make in order to get yourself there. You can start to break down your goals. So using that average of 25, let's say, so what I did when I did my business plan in the beginning, before knowing anything about how my group is going to be or my customer base or how much I would sell, I figured, okay, I think it's realistic to expect about 25 items sold per pop-up or per sale, whether that's an album sale, Facebook Live sale, Periscope sale. I just averaged it out to be about 25 items. So, and each item, so leggings are $25, a lot of the tops, a lot of stuff is $35, and then some dresses are on the higher end. So the average per item ended up to be about $40. So I don't have it written down, but all I did is I basically took the calculator on my phone and I multiplied 25 times 40. I had it written down, sorry, I don't know the number. And I got that number. Where's my phone? I swear I have it. It'll make a lot more sense if I'm able to, okay. 25 times 40 is $1,000. So if I was doing 3 sales per week, averaging 25 items sold, I was making then I would make $3,000 per week. There's 4 weeks in a month, so that's $12,000. And then to cruise qualify, you have to sell $12,000 in gross sales for 4 consecutive months. So I'm 2 of 4 away. So now, so that was 3 sales a week. Now that I'm kind of in it, I'm able to adjust. So knowing that album sales produce a lot higher volume of items sold than live sales, I may sell, you know, on the higher end, so I don't have to do as many, that 3 sales per week in the beginning. I may be able to now get away with 1 album sale, which produces 75 items, and then to have the rest of the week to invoice, ship, you know, recoup, redo inventory, work on team building, and so I'm not having to do that. So you'll be able to find out what works best for you. Do you want to do 3 smaller live sales per week? You know, how many album sales do you want to do per week? Because they're a lot of work too. So you can break it down by the average sales price to be able to set your goals, like actual numbers. Like, okay, I need to sell X amount of items to hit my goal. It's really good to have that in writing and know, instead of just throwing your live sale up and then, you know, like the end of last month, if you guys know, I was like doing sales every day because I was behind that month, and I got off to a late start, and then I was really, really focused on team building in my business. I wasn't hustling it sales wise as much as the first month. So what I did is I said, okay, I have 10 days. I had 6,000 for the first like 3 weeks of the month, and then I had 10 days left to make up for the other 6,000. So if you guys were on my Periscope, you know what I was like, okay, there's 10 days left. I think I have enough time. I know with my schedule coming up, I can commit to doing six sales. So I took my 6,000 goal that I needed to reach in that 10 days, and I divided it by 6 sales that I was willing to commit to. So I had to make $1,000 per sale, and then I just started getting creative. How can I make sure I'm hitting that figure for each sale? But if you don't know what you need to like, if you don't have a monetary goal and you're just expecting, you know, it's good to have something to gauge it and anyway. Okay. All right, scrolling back up, guys. Thanks for your patience on okay, I think I just covered the schedule parts. Any Facebook groups for cubies that I find helpful? I love Dreamers in Waiting. If you're not in that, you can ask your sponsor to add you to that. Or I don't know if it's searchable. Am I doing in-home pop-ups? I did one in-person or multi-consultant pop-up where I met Jappy the other day, and then I'm planning on doing in-home, like my in-home open houses. But it's a lot of work, guys, to haul. I do primarily online sales, but because I have a newborn and then I have to like coordinate Josh watching him, I'm not able to commit as much time to in-home pop-ups yet, but it's certainly something like Dan preaches that you gotta like do in-homes to build those relationships. Like I really, really enjoy getting to meet people face to face. So yeah, I clearly believe. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna read the questions. Oh, I just answered that. Okay. How do I remember the names? It's so funny. So one of my girlfriends just shared like one of those color charts on my wall with like all the different shades of red and then like all of the different ways to describe them. But I definitely don't study up. It's just what comes to mind. The other night we were on Periscope and I was with Josh and I was like, yeah, this is, yellow Irma. And he comes after me and he's like, this is like an egg yolk type color. So I don't know. I can't help you with that. Maybe Josh can. Okay. Do I do fundraisers? I did a sale last month to benefit the Louisiana flooding. So 10% of all my sales went to help out victims who are affected by that. Now LuLaRoe does have, they will match like your fundraising. There's like a certain process for like emailing them. Excuse me, oh my gosh, I didn't have time to do that in advance, so I just personally donated 10%. But yes, you can definitely do fundraisers. Okay, all right, let's see. All right, we're talking about finances. Okay, setting goals, not expectations. Cool. So, the next topic I have is team building. So, and we're almost done, guys. I don't know how long I've been live. I hope my iPad doesn't die on me. So, Korean box to compare for names, yeah. How did I grow my team so quickly? Yeah. I don't know. That's seriously still behooves me, y'all. Corinne, I see your hearts out there. April, I see you. Oh my gosh. Every time I think about my team, I get so emotional. Okay, because and I know you guys are out there watching, so I cannot believe the type of women who have entrusted me and reached out to me to sponsor them. Like, this company creates the most amazing relationships. Pauline, I see you. Oh my gosh. Pauline, she's works at a credit union, twice my age, one of my best, I cannot tell you. It doesn't matter. If someone was asking, do you need to be a certain age to get in this business? You're too young, or maybe you're too old. No, you're not. Why? Why? Because there are people, women of all ages. If you shop LuLaRoe, not just 21-year-old. Customers aren't. It's not just like 23-year-olds shopping LuLaRoe. This company, this clothing, it is making women of all ages feel beautiful in their own skin. That is totally I don't know how I got off topic with that, but seriously, so I think as far as growing a team quickly, the people who are meant to be in your lives and vice versa, it will naturally you'll naturally be drawn to one another. And I'm just so thankful that they reached out to me. And I wouldn't have found them otherwise. And yes, my YouTube videos have absolutely helped. I had no idea. I probably would have been way too scared to publish my video on YouTube if I knew how many views they would be getting. But yeah, I think just put yourself out there. When I say put yourself out there, put you out there, your authentic personality and yourself, and those who want to work with you and who feel drawn to you naturally will, it'll stem from there. Yes. Oh, I love you guys too. Oh my gosh, Alex. Yeah, YouTube, they don't let you change sponsors. So, oh my gosh, that's terrible, Terry. I hate that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm so sorry, girl. So if you haven't already hopped in the queue, if you're considering becoming a consultant, it is so important that you choose someone who is going to be able to support you and ask about their team, what kind of support their team is willing to give you. Lila, I'll see if I can post it to video or to YouTube, but I'll definitely be posting it in my group so you can watch the replay, at least here on Facebook. So, okay. So as far as my team, if you guys are out there considering, if you want to join, I'll talk a little bit about my team first. My team name is Team Give, and it is an acronym. So the G stands for grace. So giving yourself some grace in this business. As I feel like I'm always saying this, but you're human, you're not Superwoman, and you're not perfect. So if you're constantly beating yourself up, please don't allow yourself to make mistakes, be vulnerable, act a fool on live sales, and be completely embarrassed. Like, give yourself some grace, guys. You're doing the best that you can. So always remember that. The I is for initiative. You know, you had enough confidence to start up this business. Make sure you're following through and constantly taking initiative, taking risks, and setting those lofty goals, and putting, plans of action and putting the work in motion to get yourself there. Don't just sign up and expect it to work by, you got to take initiative and put the work in for it to succeed. The V is for values. Remember your values. We talked about this as far as growing your following, but quality over quantity. I'll just talk about for me personally, like with the giveaway that I'm doing. It's very, very important for me to be able to empower women, help them feel beautiful. That's my why. Remember your why in all that you do. And then lastly, the E stands for empowerment. That is why I created my YouTube videos. That's why I love this company so much. That's why I love having a team. I had no idea that I would love being a sponsor so much. Because I get to empower other women and watch them succeed. And I've had a couple girls now, they're getting their inventory and their onboarding, and like just watching them go live for the first time after talking about how nervous they are, and watching them fly and just like getting to see, it makes my heart so happy. What did I want to touch on for the okay, so I love how I just have this, I'm going to refer back to my sign, right? You can do anything, but not everything. Oh, one more thing. Just start. This touches back on the I, the initiative. Just start. And if you're not even like in the queue yet, if you're just considering being a consultant, what does just start mean to you? Does it mean writing down, making a list of reasons, like list your own pros and cons? Should I become a consultant? Just start writing it down and saying, or is it, okay, maybe my just start today is emailing reaching out to the person that I've been wanting to for so long and seeing if they'll sponsor me or what have you. But going back to this, and I'll get back to your questions. I see them popping up, guys. In reference to my team, because I now have 20 girls directs, I had to make the really, really hard decision to not take on any more directs. And the reason why is because I don't want to be spread too thin. I want to make sure that the girls who have trusted me get my full support. And it just wouldn't be fair for anyone new or my existing girls, but also the girls who want to sign on under me, to not be available to you. So, I'm still absolutely growing my team. I keep saying this over and over. I know you're probably like rolling your eyes, but seriously, we've got so many amazing women. And then also, I have a team group where I'm able to, if someone has a question, they'll post it in the group, and everyone chimes in and answers. So it's not just me. So even though I'm not taking on new directs, you would still absolutely be a part of that group and have interaction and access to all the information I give my direct girls as well, with the benefit of having someone who is more readily available to message you for all of those hundreds of thousands of questions that we all have in the beginning. So that's my little plug about my team. And if you're interested in joining, please email me. It's LuLaRoe, MonicaRC@gmail.com. and I'd be happy to send you tons and tons of more information. Okay, I'm going to scroll back up and read comments now. Okay, sorry guys, this is like the awkward part. Do you have to be local to your sponsor? That's a great question, Laura. I only have one girl on my team who is local, which is really crazy. But she found me not because I knew her locally. She still found me on YouTube, and she happened to live in the exact same town as me and know my mother-in-law and my father-in-law and my husband. So, okay, this is really important. If you're team building as well, I think it's really important to be transparent with the type of support that you're giving. Like, I'm being 100% transparent that I don't have the type of time to commit to someone to be a direct, which is why it's really important. So it'd be unfair of me to be like, oh, sign up for my team, and you're expecting, all of this direct communication back and forth. So anyway, the point I was trying to make with that is if you're doing more in-home pop-ups and you want someone to hold your hand during your in-home launch, and for someone locally to come be there to like actually help you with Audrey physically, then consider that when looking for a sponsor. Then a more local sponsor may be something that's better for you. But if you're wanting to focus more on online sales, or if you really want, if you find that your values vibe better with someone who's not local, just ask them how you would set expectations for your lines of communication. So with my girls, I'm still just as readily accessible to them as someone who's local. We FaceTime, we talk on the phone, we talk every day via Facebook Messenger and the Facebook group. So it's definitely, so just, if you're okay with that, then I personally don't find that it's a deterrent. But then again, all of the girls who have signed up with me are also okay with that type of communication, right? So we talked about that before. Yeah, girl, 20. Don't even know. Yeah, crazy. So I'm so glad it's helpful. Okay. We're getting to the end of the list, guys. So then we can open up for any last minute questions before this turns into like a saga. What is the onboarding process to become a consultant? Okay, so step 1, find a sponsor. You have to be sponsored by someone into the company, but don't get that confused. This is not a multi-level marketing or pyramid scheme type of deal, because your income is not based off of your team. Yes, you can make additional income by team building, but you can also make a full-time income by sales alone without building a team. You do not have to team build in order to be successful. So the first step is finding a sponsor, someone that you vibe with. Someone mentioned it. Once you sign up, you cannot change sponsors. There might be like a tiny little exception in the policies and procedures, but it's pretty like concrete. So make sure it's someone that you vibe with, someone whose business you want to emulate, or on the flip side of that, maybe it's someone who you feel like you're confident in a certain area, so you want to find someone who will fill your weaknesses and your voids, or like can help you with the things that you're not so strong at. So however you want to view that, so reach out to them and they can give you more information about joining LuLaRoe. I've already put my plug in there. I don't have to do it again. But if you don't know where to look, feel free to email me and I can send you some more information. Okay, so once you sign up, that sponsor is going to give you instructions on how to sign up for LuLaRoe. And there is a wait time of about 6 to 8 weeks for you to onboard as a consultant. And that may freak you out a little bit, but the buy-in, the amount of money that you need to invest in your inventory is a lot more than like some of the other direct sales companies where, it's like $100 to start or whatever. It's about $5,000. And it is a requirement to purchase. It's called the onboarding package, and it's a requirement to purchase because LuLaRoe wants to set you up for success. They don't want you to only buy 20 shirts for your pop-up, your launch party. They want you to have a decent amount of inventory so that you can be successful. So you have 6 to 8 weeks before you get that phone call and are required to pay. And this is the best part, though. There is no catch. So if you submit your paperwork, all it does, it starts that countdown for you to get your call. But you can absolutely tell them that you're not ready financially, or that you're just not interested anymore once they call you, and you're not bound by any means by submitting your paperwork. It's just getting you in the queue. and so that you can start prepping and watching a million YouTube videos and doing research and writing your list down, right? And checking things off of your list, getting your supplies in order and all of that. And then you'll get your call, you'll pay for your onboarding package, and you'll wait for your boxes of LuLaRoe to arrive, and then your life will be changed. So that's the process to become a consultant. And then I wrote it down. If your husband is on the fence, this is a great question. How can you convince him? Obviously, I don't know your husband personally, but I've actually had this talk with a few of my girls on my team who had that, not issue, but it's I think it's a good thing for yourself and for your significant other to question, like, that's a lot of money. $5,000 is a lot, for families. So absolutely make sure your spouse is on board. So for me personally, what I did when I presented it to Josh, guys, keep in mind, I've been like doing businessy type, like I've been doing things that cost a lot of money for that haven't worked out. So it was like really, really important that I pitched it correctly to Josh. For example, I am totally a beauty school dropout. I'm still paying back tuition for beauty school. Like, I did not finish it at all because so I was in beauty school and then I dropped out to do Etsy full time. And then I came to Josh and I'm like, yeah, so you know how I'm paying off beauty school that I don't use anymore? And then I told you I was going to do this Etsy thing full time. Well, now I kind of want to do this other thing called LuLaRoe, and it costs $5,000. And so, what I did personally, I took out my notebook and I took out my pen and I wrote down numbers and facts and statistics and how I was going to work this business. I wasn't like, oh, hey, honey, so I kind of want to, you haven't heard of this LuLaRoe thing. I know you don't know what that is, but I can make a lot of money doing it. Is it okay if I spend $5,000? Like, he'd be like, yeah, no. So what I did is I asked him, when is a good time for us to discuss something? I really want your full attention. Do you have like an hour so we can sit down and talk about this? And he was like, okay, well, that's kind of weird. What is it? And I kind of explained to him, but I said, I don't want to just like give you a rash. I don't want to, like, I want to give you a lot of information about this before, like, it's really important to me. It's something I've been researching a lot. So, when is a good time for you? So don't like, when they're watching the Saints game or football, like, talk about it. So like schedule time to sit down and talk about it and then have your list, like numbers. And then with what I touched on previously was I said, okay, this is the amount of time that this business is going to take. If I do 3 sales a week with the 25, selling 25 items average, that's going to make $1,000 per sale, which would be $3,000 per week, which would be $12,000 per month. And then I kind of explained to him what my life would look like if I were doing LuLaRoe. I explained to him the process. So really, as much information as you can give your spouse as possible, and then try to like show him or your spouse like what your life would look like. So if you have 4 kids again, or if you're not able to, like, maybe you would have to continue to work your full-time job while launching LuLaRoe. Okay, so then what is that going to look like? You're going to come home from work. Does that mean your husband's going to need more time with the kids so he can support you while you work on LuLaRoe? So anyway, open line of communications. You're going to know the best way to pitch it to your husband, obviously. But okay. No, Sarah, there is a set onboarding package so that it takes all the guesswork out of it for you. They'll send you the most popular styles. It does change periodically, but they'll send you like specific sizes and styles. How much do average consultants make? That is totally depends. Normal, extreme. It depends also on how much you're willing to hustle and work your business. And that's the great thing about LuLaRoe. You don't have to do it full time. You don't have to hustle. If you just want to make a couple $1,000s to ease the burden on your family and then still have loads of free time to be able to work at a different job or to be able to go on family vacations or be more available, you can certainly do that. So, but for me, I hustle, like I said, I hustle 24/7. I eat, sleep, and breathe LuLaRoe, and that's how I'm able to cruise qualify. If I wasn't doing that, there's no way I'd be able to cruise qualify. So, how much is profit? It's about 55 to 60%. And yeah, I'm still reinvesting a lot into the business. I'm just now about to slow down on my reinvestment. So I still have, like, I have not paid back a lot of my initial, like, I've made it back as far as, like, money goes, but I'm taking that money and ordering more inventory and yada yada. If they missed the call, they will call you back. No problem. Yep, 8 weeks. All right. Oh, man. And then, tax info and licensing stuff. Guys, I don't want to get too much into that on this broadcast because that's totally dependent upon, like, your state and then your financial situation. Someone was asking, like, how much I put away for taxes. That totally depends on, like, your significant other's income and, like, the way they withhold taxes. So I don't want to even touch that with, like, a 10-foot pole. But that's something that you can talk with your accountant about. Licensing, again, it varies per state, per city. Yeah, your sponsor can typically lead you in the right direction to research that information if they don't have the answer for you. Okay, that was a really long broadcast. I said I was going to open it up to other Q&A at the end, as long as it doesn't have us going on and on. If you guys have any quick questions, we can go through it. I'll try to, like, read back through your comments. If I missed anything important, I apologize. Y'all, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in and allowing me to do this. Yeah. Okay. After all business expenses and taxes, what percentage of sales do you personally keep for your family? So like I said, I haven't kept anything really, like some, but I've been in the process of reinvesting everything in my business to grow it as rapidly as possible, because the more you have, the more you sell. So I haven't really gotten a chance to, I haven't experienced that really yet. In a few months I'll have more. And you're so welcome, Andrea. Thank you so much. And I just covered the initial investment thing. Yeah, so it depends on whether you want to grow your inventory quickly or if your goal is to pay off your debt quickly, like where your priorities lie. So I just figured, okay, I'm not going to be able to pay off my debt as quickly in the beginning, but the trajectory, like in the future, it'll allow me to pay it off a lot more quicker, whatever in the future. So easy peasy spreadsheets. Would I still go that route? I personally like it, but you may not like it. I think he has like a trial one you can purchase for like a few dollars to see if you like it. It does require a lot of manual spreadsheet entry. So if you are not like if you don't like that sort of thing, I love it. Every time I like get all of the data and put into the spreadsheet from a sale, I like have like a happy dance inside. It's like a mini victory. But if you are not a spreadsheet like that